Welcome to the Damn Good Average Bowler podcast, episode X1, baby. What do you think about it? I like X1.
I like X1 too.
It's episode 11, but Michael, our very own pillar of knowledge, local pro and CEO, who's about to come from around the camera, came up with episode X that we did with our very own general manager, Wes, and so I like that. That's what we're using. And here comes Mike right now, I think.
Yep,
About to be charging to the table.
I'm coming.
Here he is. It always feels weird to shake hands sitting down, but what's going on, Coach?
How you doing, buddy?
Good, bud. How are you?
Hello, sir.
Doctor.
Hey,
Doctor.
hey. I just want to say this. I'm really glad to have this guy back with
Me
us.
too. Me too.
I feel the love.
You should. How's everybody going out there? Do you all feeling the love? That's what we hope, because that's what we're here to do really from the beginning. Do you guys believe it's been almost a year already?
Yup.
A year, what, in November?
November 26th.
It's like we
Did
knew
our
already.
first-
It's like we knew that we talked about it already.
Yep.
Welcome, guys. Curtis, it is great to have you here
Oh,
too,
yeah.
bud.
I figured it might be good to let everybody know. So if you're watching us on YouTube, Curtis is kind of going to be going back and forth to see if you got any comments on YouTube. And he's got TikTok. He's in the live on our TikTok. So if you got any questions, comments, Q&A,
I'm your guy.
Yes.
he's your Huckleberry.
Yes, but it is going to be a lot of Q&A. We tell you guys that all the time. You know, let us know comments, feedback, whatever, whatnot. But today's a little bit different of an episode. It's the three of us, and we're going to get into a big chunk of it to get to know the three of us a little better. So if you want, get those questions for each of us ready and shoot them out. But before we get to that, Coach, you want to give us a status of DGAB? What's going on lately with this, bud?
Welcome to the State of the Union, my friend.
Yes.
So we just finished our third invitational tournament. Mr. Phil Perry came away as our champion.
I bowled him in the very beginning.
You did. You bowled on the same pair. The highlight of the night, though, not to take
Oh,
away
my
Phil's
gosh.
thunder, was the round of 4 when Roy Foreman took on eventual runner-up Chris Jowers, and they both started the game off with the front 8.
Yeah.
And Chris finished with 299, and Roy finished with 279. Another point I wanted to make about that is Roy shot in our summer league his very first 800 series. We're not sanctioned, but I did get him a plaque because I'm like that, you know. I just think it's really good to give somebody some sort of commemorative for that. But another thing about it is his last game of qualifying and his 2 games in the round of 8 and the round of 4, he shot 826.
Good Lord.
He finished 278, no,
nuts, man.
269, 268, and 279. So it was 820 something. Y'all do the math, you can figure out that's what it was.
I mean, I watched a lot of it because I bowled in the first part and then I watched them. And Chris did the same thing down there with Will in the round. Was that round of 8 or 4? 8?
Oh, that was it was him and Roy were in the round of 4.
I know, but
and then he shot like 260 against Will and 1 and 2.
Yeah, they both opened with like the front 5 or 6. It was like, dang.
I wasn't here, but I got joined the live right when he was at the.
I did the title match.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I came in.
I apologize to you guys. It was a really hectic day. We were running around like chickens with our heads cut off, and you know, I was like, I'm at least gonna get something in, so I did get the title match, and that came down to the 10th frame too.
That was crazy.
It was definitely pressure packed, but Phil came away with the win and won it by like I think it was like 4 pins.
Yeah.
That's how I like it. I hate blowouts. I like it when you're like biting your nails up to the last ball thrown.
Unless it's my team on Monday nights, it's totally different with Curtis. But no, so we did that. Looking forward to the 4th edition. We recently got our 4th segment for the educational series in. One thing I'm really impressed with, it only took us 2 total takes for the last 2, Dustin. So I think we're hitting our stride with that.
We are, but that's, oh man, that could be treacherous too. We have the last 2 of them. We did in one take, a couple of one-take Tonys. But they've gone very great. And the Damn Good Average Bowler Educational Series, that's what we're doing to build the overall bowler profile that we've gotten. As Coach said, we've laid down the front 4 of those, actually, and we're on our way to a perfect game with those. Looking forward to doing the next one and dropping that. That'll be coming up soon.
We'll be talking about proper fit and grip.
Yep. We might even see you in this one.
Yes.
I'll be a hand model.
Yep.
Jazz hands.
Yeah, that's right.
Spirit fingers.
Yes. Man, where did that original line come from? Who knows?
Leave it in the comments.
Yes. And league just started for
Yep.
Damn Good. We finished the invitational tournament, and then the league started. Why don't you guys tell us, bowling mates here, you guys are bowling together. Tell us about that.
The idea came about from Curtis, and then when Curtis said he wanted to bowl, I hit the iron while it was hot, and I said I'll go ahead and bowl with you. And not only that, I think David strong-armed you into joining this league
Yes,
just so
that's
you
why.
could get your invite to the DGAB members only invitation.
That's all I wanted, and now I have to bowl 16 weeks. So you win. You win.
But you're glad. I'm glad. Like I said, I wouldn't have done it with anyone else here in town.
I really enjoyed it. I
Cool,
mean,
thanks.
You
I thought
already
I
have
was,
your team set in stone.
I thought I was gonna dread it, but the first night we were out there, and I'm like, nope, this isn't so bad. I mean, not gonna toot my own horn, but I got a good, nice, strong
Go
start.
ahead and tell the people. Don't, toot your own horn.
Yes.
What did you bowl? That continue, but tell everyone. Yeah.
I mean,
Careful with the hand motion.
after not bowling for a year, I started
that
out with a 198 average. So
Yeah. What'd you tell us? What'd you bowl 3 games?
212, then a 178, and then a 205.
I've known you for over a year now. That's the first time I've ever seen you bowl.
I'm glad I had a good showing for the first
It was-
one, but not as good a showing as this guy over
Mm-hmm.
here.
Before we get to that,
Yes.
because we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
I want to, and I'd forgotten. You guys were talking about Curtis bowling now, right? I forget what I feel like spurred that on a little bit. Not that I'm taking credit for you joining the league, but I had pitched you guys an idea in our talks that we have. I said, hey, what if we go live for a DGAB instead of mine? Because I talked about going live on my TikTok before for our bowling league, But then I'd always be too tired. It's like, it's just for mine, whatever. So I said, hey guys, what do you think about if we go live for the brand on DGAB on the league? And I think that's really when you were like, well, how about I bowl? Does
Yeah.
that sound right?
Because my thing was, it was a great idea, and I was like, we do DGAP, we show a lot of bowling things,
Yeah.
but we don't have a lot of us bowling. So
I did it a couple weeks in the summer with our scratch league, but again, my thing was, and you saw it firsthand last week because we were really scrambling for that first game. Me being secretary and being a league officer,
Yep.
so it's like league officer. It's first night. We're trying to make sure everybody's got their name spelled right, their lineups the way they want it, getting the money envelopes turned in, which is a task in itself. If you've ever been a secretary, you understand my pain.
Yes.
So, but I mean, then we finally got the stuff started, and we got us on dual screens. So, I like the idea, and we want to know. We want everybody to throw in their feedback of how did you like the split screen? And what we're doing is 1 week, Dustin, like this past week, Dustin was mic'd up and talking about how him and Greg were bowling on 1 and 2, and then Curtis and I muted our end so that we wouldn't have like sound over with everybody, and rest is history.
I think it went really well.
Yep.
Yeah. And you guys helped us out because that was a great idea for you to mute yours, and you'll be back next time.
Yeah.
So, and please let us know what you guys think about that again. And your night of bowling.
Didn't start off so hot, let me tell you.
No, and the second game was the first one, was the big one, right? So I just happened to finish bowling, and I was like, let me go see how they're doing, because y'all are just a little behind us. We were bowling real quick. It was Steven and Jaeger.
Oh, y'all were done before we were.
We were done real quick. So I came down there the first time. I left the camera, but came down there, and you had the front 10. And I was like,
Game two or
woo!
game
Yeah,
two?
game two.
Game two.
Yeah.
Why don't you take it from there?
That was a big time choke job. That's probably the worst choke job I've ever had going after a perfect game. And again, I don't make any excuses. I threw a really bad last ball, but I will say that there were some kids about 6, 7, 8 lanes down. And again, y'all know I've told everybody about my arthritis. It flares up worse days than others. And I kind of felt like I was already pot committed at that point.
Yep.
And I just let it go. Pulled it dead left, left 3-6-10. And it's like, wow, all right. Well, I've never shot 297, so I got that off my bucket list. And it's one of those things where it's like we go into game 3, and I threw 3 perfect strikes. And I came back, and one of the new guys that joined our league, DeCarlo, he looks and he goes, man, what's wrong? And I said, I wish I could have that last shot back. And I'm pretty sure if any of y'all have ever been on the front 11 and you just choked one away out there on TikTok, YouTube, you can relate, because it's like I threw it so perfect the first 3, and it's just like in my head I was like, wow, like I really pulled the crap out of it.
I can honestly say I have never choked away 11 in a row before.
There you go.
Because I've never made it that far before.
Well, but the thing about it was like, it was the other guy. Oh my God, DeCarlo and
I want to say Dylan.
Dylan. Thank
Yeah,
you, Dylan.
okay.
Dylan, he came up to me afterwards and he's like, like I know you're upset, and he goes, dude, you did great, and that really settled me down. And he was like, just go out there and do it. Just do this again. And the thing about it is, from the mental perspective of it's like when you're coming off, like, even if you're coming off like an ultimate high, or you're so high and then you throw a bad shot like I did, then it's kind of the dumps. Because, like, everybo's coming around me going, hey, Mike, good game. And basically, in my mind, I'm like, just shut the hell up.
Right. Well, that's right. Well, that's what we were. That's yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we want to get into also, because that's a great time to talk about it. I'm glad you wanted to, with the mental aspect of that. So going from that 297 in the second game, being really upset about that shot that you threw, right, and the distraction and everything. With the mental aspect of that, how do you calm yourself down and then get back again? Because I don't know if you guys know what he threw the third game. We haven't
talked about that yet.
Yeah. So the adversity to come off of that, to get yourself straight, and then all of a sudden, got the front three in the last game, right? So how do you deal with that mentally? Like, it certainly helped that, the guy told you, settle down. But as far as you go as a bowler, because this was I almost gave a spoiler alert, but
Spoiler alert.
But the mental aspect of that, coming off of a 297, that's a huge
Yeah.
game for me. That's the closest, you know what I mean? So I would be ecstatic, but you're not me, right? And you've done this before, so to do that, talk to us about going to that game 3.
I'm going to tell you what helped me. I reference back to when we did a live for Zach's tournament here, and me and you and I were on the pair, and I go front 10.
Yep.
And I pulled it dead left and left the same exact lead that I did on the 11th shot. So I do that. But what I took from that 297 game was, truthfully, you got past the 10th shot. So it's like I got over that hump.
Yep.
So, start off 3 in a row, and then 3 turn into 4. We get to 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'll never forget, DJ had this look on his face. Like, he didn't say anything to me, but he just had this look on his face. He goes, looks like you haven't lost your look. And I was like, well, I'm completely surprised, because we all know how transition can get us, like Curtis did, 212, 178. Transition got you.
Thanks
that
for
game.
calling me out like that.
I mean, look, we call each other out on the show.
Yeah.
So it's all about accountability.
Keeping
Curtis.
them honest.
But, I didn't start thinking about anything else again until I hit the 10th one. And I was like, wow, like, I'm here again? Like, this is rare. Like, and even for me, like, I have never went back-to-back 300. Never have done it in all the years I've bowled. I've never had that accomplishment. So that was one of the things that I was like thinking about, going, wow, I had a chance at this. And coming out of the first game, I didn't expect the next 2. Because it was bad. Curtis could tell you. Like, I had 3 opens in a row, and he knows that look I had on my face. I was like, well, I know what kind of night this is going to be. Because I split twice, and then I chopped off a 4-7, and I left the 4 and took the 7 off, which I've never done.
You talking about in the first game of this series?
Yeah, because I went 2-12 in first game.
Yeah.
I had to throw 6 in a row after those 3 consecutive opens, and then I go pull one dead left, leave a 5-pin spare, and I tied Curtis. So I had to do all that just to tie Curtis.
I love how it's like, Curtis, 212, great. And Mike's like, I bowled a 212,
Yeah.
crap game.
I'm going to be honest. I'm just being honest here, man. But we get to the third game, and like next thing I know, oh, here's 10 in a row. And then this was complete fate, y'all. I pulled it dead left on the 11th
Yes,
one.
you did.
And I mean, but here's the thing where I was at with that. Like, when I pulled it left, I'm instantly like chuckling. I'm like, oh, well, here we go. I did it again.
Yeah.
And it went Brooklyn and carried. And I don't know, you guys saw me because I posted on my TikTok, but I turned around and I'm sitting going, it's like, wow. And I'll never forget later on. So I get up there for the last shot. I could hear you on that live. You're like you're trying to run down there. I hear you. I'm laughing.
I had the camera this time. I brought the camera.
And then Curtis, like you see Curtis on the live, and he's pulling up there, and I mean, I was like, I basically told myself when I got that Brooklyn strike on the 11th, I said, dude, I've got this. Because I was not as nervous as I was. I don't know what it is. Maybe some people will be able to relate to me that have shot 300 before out there on TikTok and YouTube. But if I get past the 11th one, I feel calm.
Yeah.
But I still have the goal of.
I know.
I know. Hate on me later. Hate on me later. It's fine. But like I have a calm, and at that point, all I'm sitting there looking at myself is like, I just want to roll a good shot. I can handle I can handle like not rolling a 300 on 11 in a row, but I just want to roll a good shot and hit the pocket. And if I stone a 10-pin, 9-pin, 8-pin, whatever, I can come back and say I rolled it great. The last one with 297 in game 2, yeet. Complete yeet. So it was like you deserved it. And then to get into this final one, and then I go 300, I was like, wow. And the thing about it is like the stuff didn't really register that I even shot 800 because you were down there, Dylan was down there. He's like, and I heard Dylan on the live. He's like, you shot 8, and I was like, I don't know, did I? And, oh wow, I did. Like cool. So another bonus. And a lot of people, I believe, we will have some people throwing their comments on here.
Do we have any comments in there? We don't know.
Do we?
You keep
But,
going.
yeah, but I feel like we have. I hear people tell me all the time that the 800 is more important now than the 300.
I think we typically hear that a lot too, and I'm kind of new to the engrossed bowling world like this, being with you guys since last summer, and that's really what I've tend to hear a lot. The 800s are more significant kind of than the 300s.
More prestigious.
got a
Yeah,
lot of
they're prestigious.
highs.
There we go.
We got Papa Craig saying, hey, Mike. We got Jamie Lynn, hey, y'all.
Hey.
Maya saying hi.
I don't. That's fine. Let us know if we have any questions.
Yeah.
I wanted to point something out. I don't think I've ever talked about it on this show, but as soon as you said it, it reminded me of something I used to teach in the military in resiliency training. Because I was a long time, if you're military dudes out there, I was MRT, I was Master Resiliency Trainer. So you had to go and do a lot of schooling for it. You just explained something that we would teach and that we would do. It's called RTR, real-time resilience. It's very easy for you to do. It's one of those I use all the time. And you did it, you just didn't know it, right? When you said, if I get those front 10, I just remember like, hey, you have thrown the front 10 before. Going into your 11th shot, because it's real easy at any time to lose your faith, lose your nerve, lose your calm, get scared, doubt yourself, doubt whatever, right? Real-time resilience is going to help you. Real-time, you reinforce the things that you've done. It's like you may be going into the 11th shot and you feel your knees start to do this. Take a breath and say, hold up, I have thrown the front 10 before. I have then thrown a good shot on the 11. You're in real time, you're giving yourself that resiliency that you need because you know that you've been here before. Correct. This is not something that you can do when you're winging. this is not chip chair and prayer like, praying for something. But it is. It's in real time knowing that like, I have done this before. I deserve to be here. I can shoot an 800. I can do these things because, and then you tell yourself why. Because I spent the time working on it. Because I know, because of these types of things. So RTR can be a very valuable tool for you across the board in any aspect.
So how would you apply that same thing if you're like me or you, and you're at the front level? We don't deserve it. We haven't been here before.
No, but I tell you what I do deserve is if I can go spare 8, I can break 200.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then also I wrote down too, you see the PIP below that. I'm sure you always watch when I scribble. PIP has put it in perspective because you even said that yourself. He's like, yeah, Curtis pulled a 212. Good job, Curtis. And then Mike's like, oh, I topped a 212. I suck.
I'll give you
Hang on.
I'll give you another outlet too in a minute.
No. But that's the perfect thing I wasn't going to mention this because I already been running my mouth on that one. But put it in perspective that is a good game for you.
Yes, it is.
That's a good game for me. You know what I mean? For him, putting it in perspective, he's got 25 now, 300s. I don't have one.
No.
So 212 is a good game for me, and I'm going to be happy with that because I'm not the same. I can't compare myself to him because I don't have 25 300s. Did that answer your question a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
To this point, I will let you know that I felt a lot better being able to do what I did in game 1 to recover from how bad
Absolutely.
it was looking.
Absolutely.
Then from that perspective, also take is like, like we said, like 212. Ooh, but for me in that moment,
Yeah.
I think I looked at you and I said, well, I really saved that game,
Yeah,
didn't I?
yeah.
So I took that positive.
Sure, yep.
Turned the negative. It was a bad negative, and I turned it around. And I think that's really what helped catapult me going 597 for the next 2.
I wish I could have. You tied me for the first time. I wish I could
Yes.
have tied you for the next game.
Here's another thing too, and I don't really say much about this, but it's like I've had those situations like where you and I tied the first game. I've had other people bowl against me, and they've tied me, and you would have thought they just shot 300.
Yeah.
So like, and me, I'm like, I'm just laying in the back line and tumbling in the weeds and like, but the point to all this is like, be proud of your accomplishments. Like, nothing works better for me. Like, example wise, being in the pro shop, I drilled somebody. Sterling Barnes shot his first 300 game in Parkway Strong last Friday night. He come up there and he said, "Hey man," he said, "I did it." I shook his hand, gave him a fist bump. I said, "Dude, I'm so proud of you." And he goes, "Not without you, I don't do this." And that makes my day.
Yep.
For somebody to come up to me and go, "Hey man, you drilled my first 300 game ball." So out of all the stuff we have talked about in previous lives and podcasts about the whole, like, there's so much negativity. That one little big thing for somebody to come up to you and go, "Hey, I shot my highest game with the ball you drilled." "Hey, Mike, I shot my first 300 game with that, and that was the ball you drilled." That right there just covers up all the negatives.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to throw that in there.
I know exactly what you mean, just in different forums. You know what I mean? With comedy, it's the same with me. And that also, I just wanted to chime in with one more thing. Can you even read that? Probably not, huh? It is called perspective bias. We may have talked about this before. A lot of you guys might know what perspective bias is. Simply this, you're going to find what you're looking for. You know what I mean? If, like you said, you took the positive from that 212 game that you consider almost garbage in your mind, right? It'd be like with me, no, that's essentially is what it is, right? To you, that's garbage. And you and let the opens and things like that, but you're finding the positive.
Yes.
You look for the positive on that. That's perspective bias. My perspective is I'm looking for the good things that I took out of this and that I can move forward with me.
That makes sense.
You get those people that are always pissy and bitchy and they're looking for negative. Guess what they find? The negative.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever your perspective is set on, it's just like when you buy a new car and it's red. Now you see red cars all over the place.
Yep.
It's that thing. It's not because there's more red cars. It's, you're now conscious of it. Perspective bias is you're going to find what you're looking for, whether it's positive or negative.
Can I throw a movie reference in for
Please
you?
do.
Wolverine Origins movie.
Yeah.
The old man looks at Wolverine and says, "Son, do you know what happens when you go looking for blood? You find
You
it."
find it.
So
That's absolutely correct. You're going to find what you're looking for. And the hard, now that's easier said than done. I understand
yeah.
that, right? It's very easy to say that. The hard part is we talk about self-aware to self-regulate a lot. I know we've said that, I'm pretty sure here. So if you're self-aware, it's like, hey, I'm in a whatever, like I got a negative perspective on things. That's a huge first step to even realize that. So I didn't mean to rant about this, sorry guys, but I'll finish it up.
No, you're good, man.
But then knowing it's like, okay, I'm unhappy a lot. Like with me, I get pissed off a lot. I think I have a lot of pent-up anger, things like that. So if I'm scrolling on TikTok, I know the things that will trigger me, right? Yeah. And if I want to be
it does too.
It does. these First Amendment checkers and stuff. Anyway, but if I watch the things that get me heated, that's self-inflicted blood pressure going up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'm going to find the negative, and it's going to get me riled up. I'm aware of that, so guess what? I don't watch it. But if you have typically a negative perspective on things, or you just it always seems to be negative or whatever, that's probably because you're looking for it. So become aware of it, and then you have to start changing your sights. It's a process. It's just like anything else. But all right, I could talk about that forever. Sorry.
1% better every day.
That's
y'all.
right. One step, one rep, 1% better.
There you go.
I like it. Did that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. Have we had any comments about the
yeah.
full screen and us doing that? Has anybody said anything regarding
Curtis is supposed to be
No.
monitoring our comments for us while we're doing the first part, but again, a lot of question answer Q&A this time. You got any questions for us? Mike's gonna go check for us as we. The last thing I'll touch on this, to wrap up the status, the State of the Union. The biggest one that we'll actually come back to, DGAB, we have hit 100 subscribers on TikTok.
101 right now.
101, baby.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir, which we will be coming back to that. We appreciate everybody out there. Like, thank you. That's how we were going to end the show. You remember that? I just remembered something from our StreamYard call the other night. How we were going to take the show out. Do you remember? And this man here said it perfect.
What?
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
So,
But we're not there yet.
not there yet. Do we have any questions we need to catch up with? Anything like that?
I don't see anything, Curtis. Do
No,
you?
just no.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, there's comments, but no questions.
Okay. Anybody's got any questions? And after we get to this next part, Dustin's going to bring us into. If you've got questions, please, we want you to ask them.
Yeah.
'Cause we're getting a little bit more intimate in
Yes.
this next segment.
Yep. Absolutely.
The sensors are ready.
We,
Whatever you do.
I don't know if they can censor active viewing, but yeah.
They will, and I
I-
know this
yeah.
because Joel, our good buddy Joel, said that somebody made a OF reference and
Oh.
said it outright
Yeah,
and kicked him off.
it's ridiculous.
Yep. But just saying, we're watching ourselves.
Yeah, weird. Yes.
So let's do it.
In this segment, we're going to call "Get to Know the Boys." That would be us. And a couple of interesting things that we have a lot of similarities. Actually, we have a lot of stuff in common. And the first one is that we're all actually readers. We all enjoy reading.
Yes.
Different types of books and everything. And earlier this year, you'd even done some book stuff with yours. But we all really like to read. So if y'all, what are y'all reading out right now? What do you want to read? What do you want to get into? So Curtis, why don't we start with you, bud? What do you enjoy reading? And then maybe what are some things that you might like to read still, you think? And
I am completely just into high fantasy. That's
Yeah.
what I love to read. J.R.R. Tolkien is like a god to me.
have you heard of Helldivers?
Yes, I have. I have not read it though yet.
So good. That's that's
Zach
not
was
really
telling
my
me about
genre.
that one.
Bro, they are so good.
Are
I
they
love them.
really?
Yes. There's 11 or 12 of them, I think. The 12 just came out.
Good Lord.
Xavier, that's not a whole lot to me. I like a book series that's got 20 or more, man. The Gray Man, you know that movie that came out, The Gray Man? That's from a book series. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm
No,
sorry.
you're good. You're good.
That's a book series, and there's like 13 of those books. I plowed through that in like 2 weeks.
Good Lord.
Audiobooks. Audiobooks.
Yeah, yeah. He's not just flipping pages.
Yeah. I won't even try to lie. But high fantasy. So what are? Go on. I'm sorry, I stepped all over you.
I don't even remember what I was saying.
But
But yeah, Lord of the Rings, that was the one that really
Yeah.
got me into it. That's everybody, well, not everybody, sure, but that's the one that really did it for me. I love that one. Right now, I'm currently rereading the Game of Thrones series. Right now,
I couldn't. I'm interested in that. Right? How are the reads? Are they good reads?
sometimes it's one of those books like it's perspective, like different perspectives for characters.
Yeah, which
some
I love
characters
that.
are good. Some characters like, oh god, it's one of their chapters.
I'm interested. I'm interested in Game of Thrones, right? But my big issue with I haven't read them. I've watched season 1.
Okay.
My issue, and spoiler alert, I feel like I'm one of the only people in our population that hasn't watched all of these though.
What?
Game of
Thrones.
I haven't watched the first episode.
I don't like how they build up a character. They make you fall in love with a character. You know what I'm gonna say already?
And yes,
They
That-
unlife them. See how
Yes.
careful we're being. I can be careful, Michael.
the show is over 10 years old. If you didn't
Look at
know,
me.
I'm sorry. Yes, they unalive them. Yes.
They unalive. Right. And then it's like, why do you
Killed
do
them.
that?
I said it.
I don't like that.
I did like that because it made the stakes seem higher. It makes everything seem more realistic.
Anybody's touchable.
Everybody's up for grabs.
So would you recommend the book series?
Yes, I would. Yes,
I'll read it.
Yes, I would.
I'll listen to it.
1 to 10.
8,
Okay.
And how many books?
5, but he hasn't finished it yet.
What are they like? Books like that?
They get progressively bigger as
Okay.
it goes.
I tell you what. I
think
might
book 4 is like 700 and book 5 like 900 pages,
Good
things
grief.
like that.
dig that though.
But I read them physically the first time around. I'm just
yeah.
audiobooking it now.
Yeah.
I used to love to physically read. Like I've got a ton of books. Like I can't wait till I have all of my stuff together.
Yeah, no, sorry. Michelle said Joffrey was the best. If you no.
Sounds
no.
familiar. Have
The
you watched
little-
any of those?
What?
Game of Thrones?
No.
You know the little blonde boy king that did the
female dog. Can I say bitch?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, bitching about stuff. Yeah.
That dude's a little bitch.
shit about stuff. Yeah.
He is.
Well, I'm sure she's being sarcastic right now.
Okay. Because I elbow a kid right in the face. I mean, like one of these, like a Joe Rogan, like.
accidentally.
Yeah, he'd come running. He'd be running very fast, like right into my elbow and everything. But yeah,
We're
no, he's a
already
little
getting
chump.
heated up here, folks. It's just one book.
Also, Harry Potter for life. Love those books.
I tried that. I couldn't get into it.
Okay.
Well, I started reading it when I was 11, so it fit where I was in life
Fair
at
enough.
the time.
Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. I haven't read the first one of those.
Have you seen any of the movies?
No.
So then let's move to you, Mikkel.
Yes.
What do you enjoy reading? Like for
I like reading motivational books and I like reading business books. I like. I just recently started Rich Dad Poor Dad.
such a good book.
Yes, and I mean I'm talking about literally just started. Like
Yep.
I'm like first 2 pages in, and I used to be very gung ho about reading a chapter, And it's kind of dwindled to down like to, if I could read a couple pages, then I'm kind of pacing myself.
That's really why I switched to audiobooks, because I'm older now. And by the time I would get to where I have time to sit down and read, I'm too tired.
Yeah.
My eyes are too tired to read. Like, no, it's mentally I'm
Yeah.
too tired. With done at the end of the day and that type of thing.
Dustin doesn't want to pull out a bifocal either.
I really don't.
Which is funny because when I was younger, I used to lose sleep reading,
Me too.
and now I will fall asleep reading.
Same exact. That's why Audible.
Yeah.
I love that app.
Yeah.
You said something that made me think of a couple things. The Rich Dad Poor Dad. I was just talking to old Nicholas about this the other day. Robert, I always mispronounce his name, so I don't want to be rude. In my head, it's Robert Yawasaki.
Yeah.
I can't remember his exact last name.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Great book series. Do you know what Rich Dad Poor Dad?
I do not.
Fantastic book. He's actually written a whole line of books and games and everything like that. If you're looking to get into baseline investment and finance stuff, that's like an educational book for you. It's not strategies to how to go do it. It's teaching you finance. It's teaching you the language of finance. There's a whole book that he's done, Financial Intelligence. You got to know all that crap. You know what I mean? So there's 4 quadrants, investing with other people's money, all that types of stuff. So that's such a good book.
It is. I've also, I've read so many since 2021. Like my biggest one, and it was really the catalyst to help me create DGAB, was one by Gary Vee. It was about this thick, and all it was basically stories of testimonials from ordinary people like us, all of us, and how they came up with business strategies and brands and how they executed the plan and if it got Gary Vee's attention, obviously they're doing something right for him to want to include it in his book.
Oh yeah.
So that one was one of my favorites. I am also another one I started reading. I'm going in between all these books because it's like, again, it's like what mood am I in?
Yes.
For which
Yep.
particular.
Yep.
But Jesse Ventura has one of unreleased or finally declassified FBI, CIA.
That
read
sounds
that.
intriguing,
I'd
dude.
read
that.
That
No.
sounds like one of those that I would
Yeah.
just rabbit
Well,
hole.
it works good for Jesse because he is that kind of person.
I
If
want to
you-
work. Go ahead. Sorry.
If you talk, like if you watch some of his clips, some people probably look at him like he's absolutely nuts.
Sure.
But then you read, I don't know, I forget the title of the book. All I know is it's literally like this thick, y'all, like this thick of nothing but files that have been declassified.
I think that'd be a
for
fun
public
voice to do.
consumption.
Maybe a Ventura voice. Never tried that. That'd be a fun one.
Well, Karrion Cross can do a good one. If you know who that is, then you are a wrestling fan.
Yep.
That kind of book, you will lose me, and I will come up like a month later with dark circles
Yeah.
around my eyes. And
Like never ending story.
Yes.
I better save half my sandwich.
Yeah, but no, like just stuff like that. But the business books, it's like I wanted to become I was a little business savvy, but I really felt like the creative juices started flowing as soon as I read those Gary Vee books, and I read the one about oh my gosh, business. I can't remember. All I know is it was a blue book, and it was like that thick. That was a good one, and it was just business stuff. And they were talking about how, oh God, Tesla.
Elon.
Yeah, Elon. How he kind of delved a little bit into his business plan and getting like Tesla from where it started to where it's at. And it is so funny when you go in there and you read them. You read like the little story, the little tidbits of it. You would first think, or at least I'm just speaking from my perspective. I would read this and go, "There's no way that's how that started." But then you see what he's doing
Yep.
now, and it's like, "Holy cow!" Well, okay. So it makes me think, like again, when I threw DGAB against the wall. Well, a year later, we're episode X1, 11, however you want to put it.
it's literally stuck to the wall.
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah.
it's
Nailed
a
to it.
banner. We got hats, we got jerseys, we got banners.
Our pets' heads are falling off.
I mean, we're live streaming, we're doing this and everything. It's just once again. So my thing is like reading those business books. They will help unleash your creativity and your imagination. So I highly encourage you. Maybe the next time we do episode 12, I'll bring some of the ones I've read, and we can kind of, I can kind of just say, hey, check this one out. Here, check this one
We
out.
could start a DGAB reading list.
I mean, I did
Oprah
come up-
did it.
I did come up. Well, I did come up with Damn Good Average Reader, and I kind of just like
Yeah.
hootered around on that. But because I wanted to more dive into DGAB in general.
There's a question from Brandy, but do you have DGAB undergarments?
Not yet. Not yet. Court, Joel's got socks.
What are we thinking?
Thong.
I do like socks.
No. Oh, by the way, and Shayla got into the live. Well, I think it was me and you were in here after we did the last educational series, and she's like, send me a DGAB swimsuit, and I'll.
Oh yeah, we were talking about those.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, cool. So if we ever get to there, you never know.
We will add it to the list. We'll put pieces of it's on the list, but yeah, good idea. Any book recommendations out there? Any readers out there?
Let's see. Is that one?
Kobe, Seven Habits. 7 Habits of a Highly Successful Person. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, that's another one I got in the. I've got it in the to be started.
In the queue.
Yeah,
to,
in the queue.
To close loop with Gary Vee, I know that he's one of your favorites. I love Gary Vee, man, because we already touched on it. It's the only reason I'm mentioning this. He is very big. There's so many things you can take away from Gary Vee. I don't want to try to limit him to this, but my favorite takeaway is how self-aware he is, and he makes you become aware of yourself. I realized I didn't learn in school, and I like to freaking cuss. That's how my brain operates. That's how I'm going to do. You don't like it? Tough. But he's highly successful, you know what I mean? Very aware of his learning style, his communication style. He's very aware of all of these things, and that's what he tries to get people to realize. What works for you? Like you just said, I'm a moody person. What mood am I in that I want to listen to? What mood am I in that I want to read? That's self-aware. I feel like reading this right now.
I will put it to you like this. I tend to do things that are most familiar to me. And I learned that people that go back and rewatch and reread and reapply, like you guys know, like there's a certain series of video games that I play constantly, and I know it like the back of my hand. I actually come to learn that it is a psychological comfort.
Yes.
Because I already know the result.
Yes.
Coping mechanism.
So I learned that about myself through reading these books, and it was like, and again, like you said, self-aware. It made me self-aware, like, wow, okay, this is me. But my takeaway, that was your takeaway from Gary Vee. Here's my takeaway from Gary Vee. One girl came up to him, and the first thing she said to him, and this was in like an Instagram clip.
I wonder if I might know what you're talking about.
You may. But it stood out to me. Like out of all the things, like this one little thing, and it triggered me for good reason.
What is it, an Asian girl?
No. It was this woman, and she looked at Gary Vee and she said, "I know I'll never be as successful."
It was an Asian girl.
That was her?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So cool. Then we're on the same page. And he immediately was like, "I need you to stop." He's like, "I don't want to hear you say this," and it really motivates me because. I'm just going to put it out here, y'all. We have a lot of negativity centralized, core-wise around us. And you get too much of that, and that's going to overtake you.
Real quick.
Curtis knows we have experienced in the 10 years you've been here, in the almost 18 years I've worked in the pro shop, in every bowling alley here in Huntsville and every one I've ever visited. It is easily to get down on yourself and really just be like, I'm ready to give up. But biggest takeaway is I hear Gary Vee. He's like, I need you to stop. I don't need you to be like this. Like, are days going to suck? Yes, they are going to suck incomprehensibly. I didn't say that right, but you get what I'm saying. But I need you to be able to take away what's the good. And it goes back to what we said about my Sunday night score. I shot 212. I saved the game. I felt better about it, and I go 597 for the next two. So it's like, guys and gals out there, if one bad thing happens, don't look at it as a bad thing happening. There's no such thing, and anymore with me, there's no such thing as losses. There are only lessons. So that's the biggest thing. I could go down the rabbit hole with you, but
And well, just to continue that rabbit hole, I gotta say this because I thought about it. One of them we talked about earlier, you guys have heard me mention Jocko Willink before. He was a prior Navy SEAL commander. A lot of books, a lot of talks like that. Remember I've talked about before, one of his favorite things that I got from him, anytime there's a problem or an issue that one of his guys would bring to him, good. Now we get to figure out how to do it without that. Or, hey, the internet's like, anytime you have a problem, or adversity or an issue or your ball's not hitting or whatever, good. Now I get to work on picking up that stone 8. You know what I mean? Good. Now we get to use blah, blah, blah. But any problem becomes good. Now we get to get better dealing with it.
And you can become a very dangerous person with a mindset like that.
Yeah.
If you do not look at things from the perspective of how is this, this is completely detrimental to me, and instead look at it as this is an opportunity. And I will say this, you, Curtis, have been very above and beyond with that mindset here lately, considering you being an operations manager. And I just want you to know, I am so damn proud of you.
Damn proud.
Oh, if I could blush, I'd be blushing right now.
His cheeks are getting purple, y'all.
It feels a little warm. But
No.
no, but for real, like, and that's the thing about it. It was like, I learned something about Victor other day. He was bowling a tournament, and he was, he was cussing up a storm because he, like, made a bad shot. And, like, 3 people in the chat were like, oh, come on, Victor, it's okay, turn it around. And he literally got there, saw the comments, and he goes, guys, some of us don't do positive gratification when we're bowling these tournaments. Me, I am negative. It helps me process it. So again, another learning, another way to learn that what works for you doesn't necessarily work for others.
Right.
So my thing is that takes me into another one. So for you guys, I'm going to look at you and say, you can sit here and y'all, let's just face it, okay? They give me a bunch of crap about shooting 300s. But I'm going to take that negative, and I'm going to turn it into a positive for you guys.
If I even thought you took it as a negative.
No. Follow along with this. I'm
Please.
follow along with me.
Yeah,
God.
go ahead.
I'm going to turn this into, once again, this is a lesson. When you guys do it, I am going to be so damn proud of you because you guys have just as much the potential to do it. And that anybody out there. So I am telling you, kind of like how Gary Vee told that girl, I'm telling y'all, I don't need to hear this because you guys can do it. And it's like Curtis, I was so proud of how you handled that adversity in the second game when you and I both went front 4, and then the 5th one he dumped right into the channel.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I don't think I've ever done that off 5.
He didn't want me to bring that up, but I was bringing it up anyway because
I
it's a learning
had
point.
forgotten that happened. I had expunged that from my memory.
Is expunged from your record.
Yes.
But you did hit the spare, and what did DJ say? That's the same thing as a non-spare, Curtis.
Yeah. That's the patented Branson spare. He does that in high school bowling very well.
So I'm going to end it with this. This part of it is, you guys can do it, and I know you're going to do it one day, and you're putting in the work, and we're going to see the results. I know this.
So do I.
Boom.
Yeah.
Did it.
Thanks, buddy.
Ah.
But you know we're extremely, the only reason we give you grief about it is because of how good you are.
Well, that and y'all haven't done it yet, so y'all.
Well, plus, like I tell my boys, like it doesn't matter what it is, bud. Yeah, I show my affection through messing with people.
Yes.
So it's like, if it wasn't the
Dustin-
25 and 8, then it'd be
Dustin's
something else.
learning about me. It depends on what mood I'm in that day. When
And
he
depends on
does
what-
messes with me.
And what mood I'm in as to how much it can get dangerous sometimes. Where we're just like, let's just stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we hit the reset button, please? All right. So.
Speaking of reset, that we could talk about this all day, but this is going much better than I guess we expected. But moving on from books, did we need to cover anything else on the books? I think
Well,
we're
we
good
didn't
there.
find out what you're reading at all.
Shoot, I guess, okay. I do a lot of, I guess, like spy thriller type stuff. I hate to say The Bourne, because those, I wasn't real crazy about those. But there's a few series. I have some favorite authors, Vince Flynn, Brad Thor, Ben Coos. Those have all got like main characters that were like operators and Secret Service and stuff, and then they have to go and save the world and blah, blah, through all different things like that. There's another one by Preston and Child that I actually got Zach hooked on to them. It's the Pendergast series. Pendergast is almost like a modern day Sherlock Holmes.
He was telling me about that too.
So great. There's 20 plus of those. The Pendergast series is fantastic if you want to check it out. Preston and Child,
I have to say this.
please do.
Brandy, thank you, because she made a comment. She says, as I get this out, she says, thank you guys for doing what you do.
Thank you. You're welcome and thank you.
Yep, that's pretty much it. Yes, I just
A lot of those. Find any more while I'll wrap up
no,
this.
you know,
A
you
lot of
do.
those. Also, a lot of like the type that Mike talked about. I've gotten him hooked on a few. Peter Navarro, he does the what everybody is thinking. That's what the nonverbal communication, proxemic relationships, things like that. I really just love to read about anything that's going to either trigger my mind or a great storyteller. You know what I mean? So I think that's why I might like the Game of Thrones books.
Oh, it's a great story.
So I actually am going to add those to my reading list. But The Gray Man, if y'all watch the Gray Man series, that movie on Netflix, I really like that movie.
The what?
Gray Man.
The Gray Man.
It was Ryan Gosling, I didn't really like him before because he's like the Ken doll dude.
I was gonna say you're fighting against it now.
He's fantastic in The Gray Man.
Okay.
Watch that movie. I think it's on Netflix. That's a book series. The movie was very, very close to actual book one. Also, if you guys, anybody on Amazon Prime, The Terminal List, that's Jack Carr. He's a prior Navy SEAL. He's got a book going with James Reese is his main character. I think he's still under 10 books for his series. But I do a lot of stuff like that. You know, just shaking it up, this or that. Let's move on because we still have a lot of stuff to cover, really. We're all readers. Not only are we all readers.
Can I do it? Please, please. I already just came at this on the fly. Please.
Do, go.
We're nerds!
Nailed it!
Nailed it.
We are. That's actually what the segue into it is. We all collect stuff. We're all collectors of different things. So Curtis, let's start with you, buddy, and then we'll come to me, and then we'll come to you.
That's fine.
Well, I collect two things. I love action figures.
Okay, what kind?
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat, Final Fantasy, video game.
Video game characters from video games.
Yes, characters
Okay.
from video games. I love those. And video game consoles also.
Ooh, that's a dangerous one because that's very spendy. I would really love to get another Super NES and get King Griffey Jr. Baseball.
I was going to say, it's not expensive because I just have all the consoles that I've had since I was like little. My NES that I have is the one that I had.
Yeah.
Well, so,
Yep.
When
Yes.
you're talking, I got just go ahead.
Okay.
But
When
yeah.
did you get your NES? Do you remember?
It was theirs when I remember things.
Now you're talking about the Nintendo, the 16-bit Nintendo with the
Yes.
Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt.
Yeah, the
and
grand
Mike
with the
Tyson's
door.
theme.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
buddy. You'd have to like.
Yes, like the game I played the most in there, it's Mike Tyson's Punch Out,
Same.
is in there right now.
How far did you get on your own?
Oh, I could beat that game with my eyes
Are you
closed.
serious?
Oh yeah, like from beginning to end. Yeah, give me like 45
I
minutes.
hate you. I suck at video games, though. I've always sucked at video games, even from the time that I was a kid.
Well, one of my earliest memories is my dad and my cousin, who were little. Well, my dad was a little older, but my cousin was a little older than me, playing Mike Tyson's Punch Out and
Yeah.
getting so far and just getting so angry at that game.
yeah.
I
I wouldn't get angry as a kid, but like I would, I think maybe the second Piston Honda. Maybe I got to like Macho Man on my own. Maybe like that.
Yeah, I would see them fighting them or Bald Bull and just
Bald
like
Bull, yeah.
and just getting eviscerated and
Yeah.
just getting so mad. I remember that.
Let me ask you this with your action figures. Do you keep them in the box
No,
containers?
I do not. I'm
You
not.
break them.
I do because I'm not. I have to every now and then go
Don't
over to
interrupt
them.
yet. Don't interrupt yet.
I have to go over to them and rearrange how they're posed. I'm
Fair
that.
enough.
I'm that person. I like to do things with them.
Yeah. Ooh, man, don't tease me like this, dude. Because I don't have. If this isn't a gift, I'm just kidding.
It could be.
Well, go ahead and tell us what these are, Mikhail.
Let's show them to the camera.
Baby, this is how I'm holding my belt. If I ever earn one of these. These have to be earned.
Yes.
Do they not?
Yes.
So tell us how you earn these babies.
By winning our Sunday night league.
Sir. I really was
Got it good. It looks good.
I was very surprised with the red leather when he first had them made, and I didn't have any idea how he came up on that, but it looks so good. Though.
They do. And me and Michael. Mine upside down.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Upside down. Upside down.
And
Me and
inside
Michael
out.
will be taking these home at the end of the league this session.
I tell you, oh, piss off. I tell you where you do need to take them though.
And then, what's his name, David? And then I will be bowling in the Damn Good Average Bowler Invitational Tournament because you can't stop me.
Can't stop the rock.
Oh snap! What did we create? Attaboy,
David
Curtis.
created
I
a
like
monster.
it. I like it.
Just wanted to bring these out.
You take both of these, buddy.
Yeah.
One man has won the tag team belts. I'm serious.
One team.
Y'all, no, one man. That's why he's got them both right now. Y'all do me a favor. I never ask y'all for anything. Help me out. I've suggested to these guys that because they're going to, is it a Monday Night Raw or something? They're going to. It's a live WWE event next Sunday, and I've told them that they need to take these belts.
Yep.
Would you please back me up on that? Could you imagine how cool that would be to have the Damn Good Average Bowler belts at WWE? I think that'd be
Oh,
cool.
don't worry, we're gonna be like double champions because I'm gonna take my U.S. title and
I'm taking my Intercontinental Championship belt.
that his good buddy Michael got for his birthday.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
But you do like CM Punk.
I do. I
know,
do.
I know. I'm not. I don't can't. I did.
I'm not ashamed.
I did go half, so we got him CM Punk for his
Yeah.
birthday.
Which I was instructed not to take out of the case, so I
Yes.
did not,
Yes.
because
Yes.
I would
Yep.
have.
Keep it in the case.
Keep it in the case. You hear that, kids?
Yeah, keep
So
it
you're
in-
married. Keep it in the case.
Yeah.
So what else? We got the. You
I just
had
wanted
too
to
much
bring
fun
that
over
as a
there.
special like surprise to you guys.
I figured.
This is how I'm going to wear the belt when we go. Intercontinental on one side.
We got to make sure we don't fall over, because the other ones are heavier.
This is very uncomfortable, guys.
It looks good. It looks good. You should make a vest. It's like a vest, almost, or like a. I'm not gonna keep going. I'll get in trouble. So it's figures and collectibles. You have an IC belt. What's your favorite piece? And these are slash, all run together. They could be different pieces. What's your favorite, most prestigious, most valuable? Could be three different ones. Could be one and the same. What's your favorite action figure you have? What's the one that's like most coveted, the one that's hardest to get, and what's the one that's just most expensive?
That's a tough one. My favorite one.
That is a tough one.
Yeah, it is a tough one because I love them all. I can tell you what not my favorite one is. Out of my collection, I got the Mortal Kombat figurines and Nightwolf. I didn't even want him. I just got him because he was there, and I had to have one of each one.
Yeah.
So I was like, I had actually literally bought all of the ones they had, and then I left. And then Michael said, "Oh, I forgot to get this. Can you go run back outside and get XYZ for me?" And I went back in, and when I saw him in the case by himself, he looked like he was crying because all his friends were. I was like, "Damn it, just give me him too." And so,
So he would be, now he's grown to be your favorite?
no, that's I don't know who my favorite is, but I know who my least favorite
So
is.
if you're a collector
Yes.
and a completionist,
Yes,
you
I have to have
Sure,
it.
sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
So there, we'll try one more time. If there's a fire, you can only grab one action figure.
My katana. My katana.
There you go.
She's the reason why I went there, and it's got the other book, Katana. I've been maining Katana and Mortal Kombat since Mortal Kombat 2, 1995?
Amber wears.
93,
93.
because Mortal Kombat 1 was 92, and then
Yes.
the highly anticipated
So,
sequel was Mortal Kombat 2.
I've been
and
maining Katana since I was 3. Shouldn't have been playing that game at 3, but that's how long this relationship has gone.
But that's what's turned us into the people that we are today. That's what's made us the men that we are today. Because same boat with you, buddy. Okay. I could talk forever about G.I. Joes, man. I don't even know where to start, or I mostly collect G.I. Joes in starting lineups. I collect tons of stuff, really, but what we have here is mostly G.I. Joes. So there's different kinds. I don't even know what to tell you about those because I got figures. The current collection they're putting out is called the Classified series. Those are actually pretty cool because they are made for people that like to pose figures.
Okay.
So it comes in a user-friendly box, and they're pretty bigger figures. They're not like the ones that you're used to back in the day, like from our age, like that. They're bigger. They're like 11-inch figures that have different guns and hands and stuff. So you can take them out of the box, pull the figurine out. I haven't posed them or anything yet, but you can do all that and then put them back in the original packaging, and they're still good to go. Right?
Okay.
But I'd say some of my coolest I've found were the old school ones now that we were our age that we played with that were printed and sold in Japan. I've got some from overseas. So the G.I. Joe is in Japanese.
Really?
Yeah. So I've got them from different countries. I've got a couple Chuck Norris G.I. Joes, actually. I've got one from Missing in Action. I've got Braddock. How about this? Cobra. Y'all seen the Stallone movie Cobra? I have a G.I. Joe of Stallone and Cobra.
Really?
Yeah. I just ordered another crazy one. I'm going to get it in first. But it's pretty funny. But I got a whole ton of stuff like that, like all kinds, and it's just crazy. But I love them.
All right.
My
We
favorite.
could tell.
My favorite starting line. I found a Michael Jordan starting lineup in the package
Really?
at the deep. Yep.
I'm sure that one's worth
Now,
something.
so with starting lineups, if you guys remember what starting lineups are, right? They were from a kid. I cannot. You and I just talked about this. I can't believe how just cheap they are. Really, they are not valuable. Like you can't sell them. And I found Michael Jordan, who is really one of the holy grails in this,
Yes.
right? The most expensive one I've ever found by far. Take a guess on how much you think it would have been.
$20.
40.
40. Okay.
But that's still, this is a 90 something.
Yeah,
You know what I
Cheap-
mean?
That's cheap for a Michael Jordan.
Because yeah, well, and at What the Nerd, where he took us out there, I got 2 different Shaquille O'Neal ones from him, $15 a piece, and it's like what? It's crazy.
I tried to sell him my starting lineups, and he said he couldn't sell them.
Yeah.
He said he had a collection, and he went up to some Comic-Con and was trying to get rid of them, and he ended up selling it to a guy for like however many he had for like $1 a piece, just to get rid of the
Yeah.
stock. And I was like, wow.
I got Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris together. Do you know who they were?
I don't.
The significance of them? I'm sure you remember. If you're looking out there, they were the home run derby before Barry Bonds, Sosa, all of those guys. Remember their home run chase like 20 years ago? Or when has it been that long?
1998.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep, McGuire and Sosa.
Yep, it was. They were basically the dudes before them. They were chasing the home run record. Roger Maris was chasing Babe Ruth's home run record at 60, and MLB wanted Roger Maris to win it. But here comes Mickey Mantle, and he ended up breaking it.
Yeah.
And so it's those two together in like a Cooperstown, still in the packaging from like 1990 something. $8.
$8.
$8. Reggie Jackson, who's Mr. October, 3 home runs in 1 game. Oh my gosh, what's his name? The Dodgers baseball player, what he did the other night? Oh, Shanti, the Japanese ball
For the
player.
Dodgers.
Oh my gosh. But anyway, Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, they called him. 3 home run games in 1 World Series, $8.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. But, okay, we got questions, anything to catch up on?
Nothing right yet.
Okay. You want to, do we want to go over tattoos? Like, we're at 7 o'clock already. So what left? Do we want to just keep rolling as planned?
Rolling.
How you guys doing out there?
Keep rolling, rolling, rolling.
And also, Curtis, I noticed you have some tattoos.
Yes, I have 2.
So how many? Okay, we got 2. What you got?
I have I don't know if you can see me, Mike. Can you tell me if you can see? I have my Spider-Man
Yep,
right here.
yep, they can see it.
And then on my forearm right here, I have my Elvish script. It is Lord of the Rings print, but a Harry Potter quote because I am a, what'd you say?
Nerd.
Yes.
Nerd.
Yes.
Nerds.
It's
Great.
the Ravenclaw house words because I am a Ravenclaw.
Interesting. I like that.
Yes.
I like how
Do
Elvish
you drink
writing.
claws? Do you drink White Claws?
Ain't no laws, baby.
White Claw is the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted in my
They're not
life.
great, but if you're
And no, if I'm gonna get drinking, I'm gonna drink the stuff that really messes you up and messes up your body. Try not to curse.
man, have you ever had absinthe, like real absinthe?
No, I have not.
I've heard stories though.
Have you guys, anybody actually had it out there? There's stuff that you can buy in the States at a liquor store, like at a Windmill, that's legal, but then you have your real stuff, I think at the Wormwood, I think was with that deal. Anybody tried absinthe out there? I'd be interested to know. It tastes terrible. It tastes like it's even with the sugar in it, man. It's like a disgusting licorice spider web grabbing all of inside of your mouth.
I don't like licorice already.
And-
So.
Ooh, Mom says I have.
And it's, yeah! What's your experience? What do you think? Because it was...
Mom.
It was terrible. Mom, what'd you think? Because it's terrible. It is very licorice. It's licorice.
There's only one alcohol I will not drink ever again, and that's because it was the only alcohol that I really blacked out on really badly and had a bad time. That was Everclear. We were doing shots of Everclear.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes. Well, I didn't know that. I was young.
I
haven't touched it since.
thought I killed my best friend back in the 90s with that stuff.
I thought I died too.
Yes.
But we were having a competition to see who could do the most shots of Everclear.
How you die.
It was dudes being dudes.
Fair enough. I sit here. I cannot judge. Because I tried to kill my best friend by egging him on to take shots of it. Because I even knew back then, I'm like, I'm not drinking it. Well, we used to make, we would make the Long Island iced teas
With
type of
Everclear?
stuff, essentially, because it's not much different than Everclear mix.
Yeah.
But at least add some Kool-Aid or something to it. That stuff's dangerous.
Yes.
And it's like rubbing
It
alcohol.
burned. It burned.
There was one night when we were playing cards with it was Lou, John Ramsey, that crew, and he brought over what he called. He said, "Hey, this is some apple pie."
Moonshine,
Oh no, it was Everclear.
apple pie, Everclear.
Yeah, and it was deceiving because usually the Everclear, it makes you go, whoa.
Yes, it's like rubbing alcohol.
No, but this was like pure apple pie.
I've never had
That's how
flavored
you die.
Everclear.
That is
Yeah,
how
yeah,
you
yeah,
die.
but
I've had
that's
flavored moonshine
That's how
like
you
that.
get really lit, and yeah, you pass out.
You black out and you don't wake up. Ever.
What you asking, Mr. Josh? Ball.
Looney. You got 5 on it?
Mr. Looney. What you asking, buddy? But anyhow, yes, but no, like, ooh.
Man, absinthe. I don't know what made me think of that. I just saw a video of
I
it the
just
other day
learned
because I was
something
supposed to
about
do
my
it.
mom, man. I didn't know she tried absinthe.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I'd be interested. We gotta get mom's story on that.
So, you also have tattoos.
I do have some. So the one that you can see right now is the shark. This is my Scout Swimmer shark from the Marines. This is actually a Marine tattoo.
Oh.
I was, we did. I was in a boat company in the Marines, and then I was in the platoon that went to Scout Swimmer School. So we did all of this when we were in Okinawa. And then another platoon sent the coxswains. Coxswains, the boat driver, the Zodiacs. Do you know what a Zodiac is? The inflatable black boats that you see, kind of
Yeah.
trucking along. That's a Zodiac boat.
Okay.
We did all the stuff in the Zodiac boats, right? We would, as Scout Swimmers, we would do amphibious clandestine operations. I can elaborate on that if you want later or whatever. I can talk about
Okay.
it now. What, I mean, do you want me to explain it now?
Just, yeah, if I mean.
So that's just essentially, everybody will hear a lot of times about a Scout sniper in the Marines, right? You know, the movie Shooter,
Yes.
with snipers and everything. So Scout Swimmers were the same thing just for boat companies, meaning from the water. So like in all those Zodiacs and everything, you'd have a company out in the water about a click off. A click is 1,000 meters, essentially 10 to 15 football fields away from the shore.
Okay.
How's that? That's where everybody would stop. The Scout Swimmers, there was 10 to 12 of us. We would get out and then swim in secretly, right? We got the fins on and we're swimming and everything. We got all of our gear and everything.
You were doing this?
Yes, I was in charge of that group. And we would swim into about 7,500 meters to the shore, right? Now we've got all the big 3 forces out here. We've got a company size out here. We've not swam up to the shore, right? We stopped 75 off, and then we communicate through hand squeezes. So boom, boom, 2 squeezes meant that squeeze will go down the line, and now the left lateral and right lateral teams would punch out. They break off because we swim in hand to hand like this one link. That's how we stay
Okay.
together. So boom, boom, that means you're in 2-man teams after that. So say you and me are on the right flank. We float off now. As we start getting closer, you're going to be point coming in, so you're facing at the shore, and now I'm basically right on you, getting our 6 security behind us. As we are floating in, we're looking for any obstacles that we would need to mark with chem lights, with the glow sticks from Halloween, that the Zodiacs might hit. So we would mark them on the other side for them to see that they need to avoid obstacles, and then we would wash up onto the shore. We're also looking for enemy sentries, bad guys, that we would neutralize. And then we set up the lateral directional chem lights right here, right? Which is basically just, you could make one with this. You just empty out, shove that full of like green chem lights, tape around it, tape right here, and then however you point it, you can only see the light from there, right? So that would be our job. We now push up in the sand, and we've set the right one. That lets me know that's out there in the water still with everybody else, that my right's good, boom, there's my light for the left, now the left is good. Now the rest of us, we break apart and we float in. And then I would set up kind of the same thing for the middle. And then once that's all good and we're all in security, I'd run my ass back down there to the beach, hit my IR, infrared laser. That would bring in the first wave. The assault element would usually come in first. So you have assault, support, and security. Those are your 3 elements that come in. So then boom, they'd come in and be like, all right, hey, there's a left. Now I'd put them in place, bring in the next wave, and so forth. So that was the job of a Scout Swimmer, was to secure the zone coming in for the Zodiacs and the insertion point. That was the job of a Scout Swimmer.
Okay, so.
Did that make sense?
Oh, it made a lot of sense. I'm just like, just so we don't overload the thing. How have I not sat you down with like some beers or something and just,
I've done
I'm
all this
like,
stuff,
good
man.
Lord, yes. I'm like enthralled, but I'm like, I need more
That's
of
what
this.
that's what this is. So,
And see, mine was like, I like this, so I got this. You have a whole story.
That's usually what, like, when people get tattoos, it's a life story, it's a compilation.
No, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's like, I just like this, so I got this.
I said,
That's a significant
I
story.
said
So that's my favorite.
most. I
yeah,
didn't say all.
there are a lot of pick and sticks. I do have some pick and sticks. So this is my favorite by far. But in order, I do have the Goldberg tattoo. That was the first tattoo I ever got, was the Bill Goldberg tattoo. You know what I'm talking about, right? The tribal.
Yep.
I got that right here in Hollywood in probably 1999 after I was in the Marines still after boot camp. But I have since then, I added a huge tribal piece onto it, coming up like that, and
Okay.
then back there. And then now a lot of this has been covered up because I have the big chest piece now.
The eagle.
Yeah, the eagle and that type of stuff, like the old naval look.
Okay. I was gonna say if that's the most basic thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. But then this is actually, I don't want to jump ahead, but we still have, we'll be talking about tattoos again in a little bit here when we wrap up. But I've got, one of them is I think this is the Misfits. That was my squad in Iraq.
Okay.
We were the Misfits. We had the patches on, and that's what we were called because our squad leader loved the Misfits band. So I got the Misfits tattooed right there. Gorilla Gang, that's the first small business company tattoo I got. That gorilla right here is Gorilla Gang. That's who I used to work with a lot.
Okay.
That might be the Goldberg, and then this is another USMC stamp. One of them's janky ass USMC writing that was done in a living room. Is referred to as a barracks tattoo. And then a pick and stick that I got on my back. I've got the tribal like that on my back.
Okay.
Remember back in the day, like 20 years ago, it was very popular to get a tribal piece across your back.
I do.
We went through that phase. I got this one in Virginia in the Marines, so probably in 01, 02. And it's a tribal that comes up like that. I think I'm eventually going to get a big back piece to cover that. Not necessarily to cover that, but I want to use a big piece on my
And
back.
incorporate it into it.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably just cover that up. I think that's everything, right?
We
I think so.
got any comments about that or anything like that?
You ready for your first piece?
Yeah, it doesn't involve tattoos, and everybody knows why. Because when it comes to needles, Michael's a bitch.
Quite all right, though. Quite all right.
I admit it though. A lot of people are like, I ain't scared of a needle. Ah!
Oh, no, I appreciate the honesty. So, you want to go right here?
Sure.
Okay.
Bring
Let's-
us into it, big guy.
So, okay, and then I'm actually going to do that, I think, when you're done. Because this is going really good. We hope you all are doing all right out there. Thanks for sticking with us. We do appreciate it. I'm having a lot of fun. This is fun with you guys.
Blast.
Okay. So, this portion of getting to know the boys, which we could certainly do again, I think it went really well. We have StreamYard calls, kind of weekly conferences where we talk about all this stuff, and because we want the best product for you guys. We want to do our best for you. We want to do what you guys want, type of thing. So it's very important to us. And we're talking the other night and about this particular segment, and this is kind of closing out collections also, because you collect this, but it also is very significant to you.
Yes.
Which Curtis and I was really just honored that you shared that. I think we both felt that way. We were very honored that you shared that with us, and it was just very moving in general. So we thought that was the only appropriate way to kind of close out this section before we move on. So, won't you let us know about the other thing that you collect and why, bud?
So before I go into that, everybody knows that I have a big collection for the Green Ranger. And
Shit, we didn't even do your basic collection stuff,
it's
did we?
okay. I got you, man. We picked
That's
each
what we're
other
here
up.
for. That's what we're here for.
But no, probably my favorite Green Ranger out of all the collection I've got and everything. Everybody knows I've got the Dragon Dagger.
Can I ask a question real quick on that?
Yeah.
How did you decide why a Green Ranger?
Well, if anybody knows their Power Rangers history, they did 5 episodes when he was evil.
I do not.
And,
So
okay, well, they did 5 episodes of when they introduced the Green Ranger as the evil Ranger.
Okay.
And he absolutely just, could not be stopped.
Just Slade.
I mean, he just absolutely went out there and he just whooped up on all 5 of them. They were nothing. They were just trash.
Love it.
But then he turned into good. And I don't know, there was something about, he had the flute. And I mean, I know all the other Rangers had their power weapons of the show and everything.
Yep.
But there's just something, I think it had a lot to do with the gold shield. Because
Okay.
he did not look like the other 5.
Yep.
So he
Okay.
stood
Yep.
out. And it's kind of an exclusiveness to it too, because not only that, then they took him off the show, they took his power,
Right.
and then he come back as the White Ranger, and I'm just not a White Ranger fan. I'm a Green Ranger all the way.
Even just from that though,
Yeah.
because I'm the same way, where I like stuff that like this dude's different. He looks different. They took him away, and now he's back. I like that.
Yeah,
So I'm
but
totally
they,
with you
they
now.
brought him back as White Ranger, and I just kind of lost interest.
Yep.
But it was like, but anything Green Ranger, and I tell Justin all the time, I'm like, dude, before you even post on your Facebook
Yeah.
page, if you've got something Green Ranger,
Yeah.
send me the picture first because you know I'm legit for it.
Yep.
And I actually snatched up another figurine he had that I did not have that's going into the collection.
Nice.
And but I have the Dragon Dagger, and everybody knows if they've been on my lives. I did the video, we did the film that night.
Yep.
I literally bowled in the Green Ranger helmet, and again, it's just one of those things. Like it was just if the most valuable possession I have for all my Green Ranger stuff is one of the. I think it's like 25th anniversary where it's just him. It's the Green Ranger figure, and it has his weapons when he was good and evil.
That's cool.
And all that. And it is actually autographed by Jason David Frank.
Nice.
And we all know, unfortunately, what happened with Jason a couple years ago. He lost his battle with mental health. And that's another thing about it, too, is like when you come to learn that even the background story, like he legitimately became, when they introduced him too, he became the biggest star. Like he overshadowed the
Yeah.
Red Ranger and then all the other Rangers and everything. And he was the one they were talking about. And then it's like they took his power, they took him off the show, and they're like, what can we do to bring him back? Because he's such a popular character. And I just don't think the White Ranger hit
Right.
nearly as much as the Green Ranger. Because even the White Ranger didn't have the gold shield. He had the little vest or whatever. And again, even then they were trying to differentiate him from the rest of the other
Yeah.
Power Rangers. So,
Yep.
what day is it, Hunter, by the way? I was going to acknowledge that. I was going through my spiel. We'll wait on that. So, but Green Ranger.
Yep.
That's my collection.
Yep.
Also, I collect the old Hasbro WWF figurines from the early 90s. There's like 10 series of them, and I've got a buku of them. I don't have all of them, but they're loose.
You know the ones I would love? I don't think it's what you're talking about, but like the bigger ones that were like the rubber from like the 80s. You remember those?
Oh, yeah, I know which one you're talking
That's,
about.
you got Ivan, what's his name?
Ivan Koloff.
Yes.
Yeah. I know which one you're talking
I
about.
would love
But
those.
these were like the first Hasbro
Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
And they were like literally
Yep.
about like that, you know? So, but that was
I think that had the Axe and Smash, Demolition.
Demolition.
I had
Yep.
Demolition in those.
They had two series. The first, they were part of the first series when it was Axe and Smash.
Yeah.
And then in series 2, it was Crush,
Crush,
and Smash.
yeah.
And yeah, even Josh says that Dragon Megazord was fire. Let's see, you needed a Red Ranger helmet when you bowled your 300, 800. Will, that's great. And you know what? I actually found that they actually do. They do have the Red Ranger. They do have the Red Ranger helmet. So yeah, Will. Again, I have done my obligation of doing the Green Ranger TikTok video. We still got to get that red helmet for Joel so he can do his Red Ranger skit, and we can combine them together. That's what we need to do. But yes, I was all red. I was all red last Sunday night.
I will be doing the Green Ranger costume for Halloween this year.
Okay.
I will take pictures.
Okay, cool. You're gonna have the helmet too?
I don't know, it costs more with the helmet, man.
Yeah. I would rent you my Green Ranger.
Rent you
but it's a pretty price. So you were decked out red from head to toe. Yes, I was, because I was comfortable. That is another aspect, okay, of being so relaxed when you're bowling good. You're comfortable.
You know what's really comfortable to bowl in? These jerseys, and I'm not just doing a shameless plug right now, these are actually really comfortable to bowl in.
You guys, go ahead, finish. Do the promo, man.
No problem. That was, I
No,
mean,
do the promo. Tell everybody about the jerseys.
it was hot in here when we were bowling, and
hold
this
that.
thing just breathed so well. And I was actually shocked when I was up there moving. I could feel the air passing through me. It was awesome. Really worth it. So if you guys haven't got one yet,
Jerseys?
now this is the shameless promo plug. Yeah, get a jersey, man. I mean, not just to support us, but to appreciate the support, but also they're just really comfortable to bowl in.
Yes, they are.
So Josh has a wonderful discussion. Josh, we're going to do the discussion. We'll do that on my next live, and we will definitely get to that, my friend.
What did you drop?
I don't know. It sounded loud. I did.
Bloopers.
Not meant to mic drop yet.
Well, while you were gone, Dustin, Curtis took it upon him to do a cheap plug for us for the jersey.
I love it.
But so getting back, I actually build some time because I wanted you to be in here when I was
Thank
talking
you.
about this.
And sorry I couldn't wait. My back
no,
kids were
it's
floating.
okay. You're
Yep.
okay. But no, we got through the Green Ranger part. We talked about that. But another collection I have is my collection of Legend of Zelda games, and it's a very, very sentimental thing. I'm pretty sure that I probably shared with a bunch of people on TikTok before, but for any new listeners, new viewers, Legend of Zelda holds a very special place in my heart. When I was growing up, literally lots of video games I played: Mario, Zelda, Star Fox, you name it.
You want to check the YouTube feed?
Stuff
Just
like
make sure
that.
it looks good and see if there's any-
But The Legend of Zelda was the game because it's the only game my dad could watch me play. And one of my favorite memories was Link to the Past, Super Nintendo, the Super Nintendo title. And we got stuck on a dungeon. My dad that day went and got a guide because he was getting frustrated watching me trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And it was like 7 o'clock that night. He goes, "Let's just start a new game." And I said, "Okay." He goes, "Well, we're going to beat it tonight." And I was like, "You do realize that this is like an 8 to 9 hour game. I don't have the special skills that some of these speedrunners do." And I was like 9 or 10 or 11 at the time. So yeah. And basically from 7 at night to 3:30 in the morning, we stayed up and beat the entire Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past in its entirety from start to finish. And it's pretty cool because it shows like anytime how many times you get beat by a boss or something, and it shows you how many games you played. It was like the achievement was when it came up at the end, it said 0 because we played the whole thing from start to
Nice.
finish. And then Ocarina of Time came out in '98, and he was enthralled with that. And then the one I personally like of the late '90s, early 2000s was Majora's Mask. I think that is one of the best titles in the series. Feel free to disagree with me, but I know Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask like the back of my hand, start to finish, because I played it so much. And then I finally started playing Breath of the Wild a lot more regularly during shutdown. I've been talking about like 8 at night to 6 in the morning.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's such a long game. Like it took me probably a year to 100% Breath of the Wild for it to actually say 100%. And I'm doing the same with Tears of the Kingdom right now. But what makes the Zelda game so special is, you guys know, and it's coming around here soon, but I lost my dad 6 years ago to kidney cancer. And he never got to see me play Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. And what's funny in a very calming, comforting way is a lot of the times when I was playing Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, I could just feel some wind, and it's like I'm not outside. And I kind of like to think that it was my dad sitting in the living room watching me play it. So it's why it's so sentimental to me, and it's why I've streamed like live on TikTok playing Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, because and not only that, it shows another side of me and like what I like. And of course, everybody out there, TikTok, YouTube, again, like I said. So that's why The Legend of Zelda holds such a dear place in my heart, and why I'm constantly like starting new games that I've beat millions of times, because it never gets old to me, and it's just one of those comfort pieces. So
I have one thing to say to that. Screw the water temple.
he's talking about Ocarina of Time. But you know what? Let's be honest here, okay? It's funny you brought that up, because in some of these lives I see where the guys and gals are playing Zelda, like there seems to be so Ocarina had a water temple, Majora was Great Bay Temple, which was their water temple, and Twilight Princess had the third dungeon, which was the Zora when you're going to get the Midna's helmet put together, the Shadow helmet. And it was a water temple, and everybody collectively, I believe, agrees with you that the water temple is the most devious and most frustrating. I get through the water temple in Ocarina of Time just like that.
That thing broke me. It made me stop playing that game for like 6 months. It just broke me.
So Johari, I want to say thank you for following me on TikTok. I want to make sure I acknowledge everybody that's just now starting to follow. So, but no, that's why you guys, if there are a couple lives, you see me playing Zelda, and I'm actually wanting to try to set up an actual computer and get the video and everything. And I'm actually going to start trying to
stream.
like gamers do. Like Margie and Ken's, they're not in the live right now, but and even working on right now. And that's another thing that kind of segue into.
Yes.
Yes, see, it was perfect. It was perfect. So, I just literally started Discord last night, my own, by recommendation of Margie and Ken's. So thank you, Margie and Ken's. And I'm working on putting the pieces of that together. This is basically going to be success stories, ball reviews. There's also going to be a voice channel called Damn Good After Dark.
Which we will come back to here in a minute.
But just a little tease into that, which I'm going to let you get to that. But I will be able to get you guys more information on that and how you can join Discord and join my Discord for DGAB. And I mean, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to hand it right back to you, my friend.
We certainly thank you for sharing that story. Like I said with us the other night on StreamYard, and then we decided that was really just the best way to go out on that segment. So we appreciate that, man. And moving on to the next here, as we get to the end of episode X1, we talked about at the top of the episode, one of the big benchmarks, we just hit 100 subscribers. We're at what, 101 now?
101.
101. So we want to thank everybody for that, obviously, from all of us very much. Seriously. You guys are the champs. We appreciate it. And I just can't believe how fast that happened.
I know, right?
It seemed like last week we were talking about hitting 50 and doing the big thing for that. We didn't talk about that.
I want to say this because it's very important. Now at 50, we got people that are able to gift subscriptions. So for those of y'all that have gift those subscriptions, thank you
very much.
So much. You have no idea how much that means to me, how much that means to them, us collectively. Again, we're going to keep on keeping on. What's up, Big Wayne?
What's up, Wayne?
Congratulations on he shot 300 the other night.
Very nice.
He posted on his TikTok. So congratulations, Big Wayne. Proud of you, G.
Boy.
As Joel would say.
Yep. We hit 50 quick, and then actually we didn't touch on that giveaway. Was a lot of fun that we did with the spinny wheel and the bracket. Good job on the bracket.
We were entertaining people in the beginning.
Yep.
You weren't very.
I felt bad because I was a baby back bitch at the beginning of it because it wasn't going our
He
way.
was something that rhymes with Rick.
Was I? More of a yeah. I was doing my best to not be so bad.
You were being a Richard.
10 years ago, I would have just got up and left.
Yeah.
Seriously. But we did great. It was nothing against anybody particularly. We just getting through it. We thought we knew what we were doing. We didn't. But that went great, and it was actually a lot of fun. The bracket was great. Gave away the jersey.
Which we're still waiting on an XL. I knew he was Thomas Bennett picked an XL. So thankfully, we ordered 6 XLs, and 4 of them are already claimed.
I meant to bring that painting in. We could have it sitting behind us. We're giving that out.
Yeah.
That lucky
individual
won that one. Yeah.
I don't know if he's in here. He's been a little bit busy this week, but definitely a big supporter of the brand.
Okay.
We will. I want to save it because I want to contact him and I want him to come in and I want us to be able to feature it on episode 12. We will save that.
I like that.
If you're okay with that.
I'm perfect with that. I like it.
All right.
With the 100 subscribers that we've hit, it was my idea, a couple months ago, a month ago maybe, because this has moved really quick.
yes.
It's knocked all my hair off how fast we're moving.
And after you do this, before I forget, for myself and y'all, I have another one, and I'll explain.
Okay. With the 100 subscribers, if you're not aware, Curtis and I are getting DGAB tattoos. We're still working on that. It is in the works. Yep, I'm going to be getting pretty much that. I'm getting Harry with the bowling ball and everything right in here. I think I might put him on top of a black background just to make him pop more. But I'm starting to cramp. Curtis, you take it over. What are you getting?
I'm going to be getting a more edgy design of it. I want more of a black silhouette of Harry the Beaver with the DGAB acronym, I guess, put through it. And when the black meets the black on the inside, I want that to be like a negative space, so the kill still reads through. I think it's going to look really good. I'm probably explaining it terribly, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And thank you guys, because I have needed an excuse to get another tattoo.
Yes, and you can really thank me though, because it was my idea.
Thank you, Dustin.
When I was drunk at like 1:30 in the morning cooking, and I was like, I need a tattoo. Let me hit up the boys.
As PBS would say, this is made possible because of viewers like you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You need to remember that. Seriously, that was good.
That was great.
That was good.
Square one.
That was really good. I think we should probably save this. And we can mention, you want to touch on that real quick, just as something maybe coming? Should we touch on it?
You can do that.
Okay.
Like I said, it's that, and then I got something else too.
You want to do it before this, and we'll end with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we do have a next milestone coming up.
Yeah. Hit the red F you button.
FU. Heard that? If you're trying to call Curtis right now.
You failed.
But no, we do. We are looking for a next milestone. It could be a mystery number. Could be already set. We're not sure. But we are doing another big ballin' giveaway. So who knows what it could be? But we big ball here, man. That's what we are. So, and then Michael teased it earlier, and we'll just touch on a little bit more. Something else that's in the works that we want to try. Throw to the wall, see if it sticks. See what y'all think.
Before that.
Go on.
All right. So in my live this week, I got blasted. We were talking about food.
Ah, yes.
We were talking about food, and one of the foods, it wasn't really a food, it's more like a condiment. Ranch.
Okay.
I don't like ranch. And of course, Jamie Lynn came on there and said, have you tried it? And I said, no. And she said, how can you say you don't like it if you've never tried it?
Wait, somebody's never tried ranch?
This guy.
This guy. I have never tried
And
it.
he refuses.
How have you never tried ranch, though?
You don't let me get into this.
Dustin
I
is,
don't-
And then you
Dustin is
interrogate
flabbergasted right now.
me. Interrogate me.
I don't know if I can let you continue.
Anyway,
I didn't know he hadn't tried
I
it.
can tell you this right now.
What?
So here's the thing. Here is my thing.
Making
I
me
have-
cramp more.
I have two things for that. And, you know, I told Jamie she could spearhead this campaign, but you guys can spearhead it too. But you can get 300 of your friends to donate you $1 and send me $300. I will do ranch. I will dip chicken wings, whatever, into it, and I will try ranch.
That sounds like something. See, he's trying to go the money avenue, so it won't happen.
Or I got one better. I got one better.
Let's hear it, because I have an idea.
You guys went for 100 subscribers to do your tattoo.
Yep.
We get to 200 subscribers, I will try ranch on a live.
You think that?
Or guys,
200 or 150?
we can get 5 or 6 of you to come down, like I said before.
No.
We'll hold him down,
Absolutely not.
and we will force feed him ranch.
That you can't do that.
I bet we could. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Calm down.
We're joking.
Calm down.
We're joking.
No, you're not.
No one's gonna be
Curtis is
beating.
not joking.
No one's
I
gonna
would
be
love
beating
to
down
do
the
that.
Pit Palace doors.
I've done plenty of
But
stuff
I
like
gave
that.
you guys an outlet, so your mission, should you choose to accept it, is 200 subscribers. That's the ultimate goal.
And how much ranch are you consuming at 200?
I mean, I'm going to try it.
I
If I do
still,
not like it, I am not going to finish it.
I don't understand how you have not tried ranch since it's been around.
There's
I
probably a lot
can't.
of things that I have. There's certain things I've tried that I don't.
I'm
like.
not saying you have to like ranch, but I'm just saying I don't understand how you have not tried it
I
yet.
just don't. I just look. I look at something, and if I think I'm not going to like it, I'm not going to try it.
But you don't know that you're not gonna like it.
I can look at it and tell.
I
It's the look of it. It's the texture of it. It's just like I just have
The
this.
same
Yeah, you
texture as ketchup.
No, it's not.
how long has ranch been around? Like 30 years?
Probably longer than that.
My mom.
We know he does.
He holds great.
I've learned that already, Mama. I'm not. So I'm just kind of unbiased with ranch. I could care less, really. Like it's good. I'll use it sometimes, but I tell you, my main thing with ranch that I do really like.
See, here we go. Brandy, she was another one of those.
A lot of people, right? Well, okay. So let me ask you if you've ever tried this, Brandy, because we can speak the same language. You let me know too. And my buddy's mom made this in middle school, way back in the day. Ranch ramen.
I have never even heard of such a
We
thing.
made it up. Like
Until-
I've had it. It's so good. So basically, you make your ramen, right? You drain most of the juice out. Very minimal water left in it. Then you hit like you can do however much your seasoning packet you want. You can do half the seasoning packet, the whole thing. But then you douse it in ranch. That's the majority of now your sauce. Mix that baby up, dude. That's ranch ramen. It is bomb.
Is that what they say these days? It's bomb.
And that's what I said 30 years ago, and I still.
I thought it should be the bomb.
It's very good.
The bomb.
It's thebomb.com.
That I used to make. Oh man, you get me started on ramen. I used to make Barracks. I had a Barracks cookbook, man. I'd make poor man casserole with ramen. I'd make 2 things of ramen, mix up a can of tuna fish, a slice of American cheese in there, some tapatio, baby.
Yeah.
That just sounds
Randy says I'm gonna have
Try it and let me know.
like growing up poor.
That's why it's called poor man's casserole.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
okay.
gonna leave it
That's
what he
there.
said.
Poor man's casserole.
Yeah.
But ranch ramen is. I haven't had it forever. I can't do ramen anymore because the sodium make me have a heart attack. But it's really good.
So that's anyway. I'm just letting you know that
enough.
I am willing to try it on the live, whether I like it or not.
Well, I think we've already established this. He said at 200 subscribers, he's trying it.
Yes.
So that's, 200. 200. And that's going to be a good one, bud. So if anybody wants to
Look.
buy 100 subscriptions today,
Hey, so be it. I mean, look, my thing is this. It's one of those things where, like, she looked at me on my live and she said, "You're not living life." I said, "The fact that I'm even considering is a step in the right direction."
never heard of it.
Stop it, Brandy. We're not.
I didn't like that when I was younger.
We are not, no.
Cottage
Like,
cheese.
the other day, I almost got sick just saying those 2 words.
He's adorable, isn't he?
I've actually developed a liking for cottage
Me
cheese
too.
as I've gotten older.
Please.
Oh, and are you one of the pukers too?
Dude, like that?
You make the sounds? You get up to...
No, not that.
Okay.
No, don't do that.
You know, okay. You ever had any of those friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're so
No, but this right here, no. No, I mean, look, nacho cheese Doritos, fine. I'll eat them by themselves. Do not say CC. That is
What about nacho cheese in CC?
no.
In cottage cheese, that's what I meant.
Stop. That is gross.
But in all fairness, when I was a kid, my mom used to eat that with like peaches or whatever. Like that would gross me out.
You do know, like, another thing, and I've told people in the live before, I don't like ice cream.
Like any kind, it has flavors.
My favorite is soft serve. I prefer which is like not ice cream.
All
I was gonna say
ironically
that's
enough,
not,
look,
right.
all I'm going to tell you is, again, like I said, love my dad. When I was younger, you would tell him that, hey, I don't really like this, I don't want to try it. And he's like, you're going to try it. And he literally, like, forced the spoon into my mouth, and I had no choice. And it was really cold. And
It hurt?
I was like, yeah, it did hurt because it was too cold. And at that point, I was like, I don't like it. So whether it's because of trauma,
Do you have PTSD of the cheese?
stop.
I just said the cheese.
Yeah, I know, but still, I know what
You
you're
could
referring to. I know what you're
What am I referring to?
No, I'm not saying it. Shut up. You guys.
The only thing I
I'm
will
not
not-
trying it, Randy. Case closed.
At 200 subscribers, you're trying to ranch.
I'm trying ranch, not that.
What about?
Look, you know how bad that is? Y'all saying that and me getting like gagged by it is like talking to the Undertaker about cucumbers.
What's wrong with
I'd heard
cucumbers?
about that.
He
Yeah,
does
yeah.
not like cucumbers.
Same with cats. Have you heard that? Have you seen this? They freak out
See,
around.
no, I've seen it. I've seen it where it's like they jump around. Then I've seen like a video where a girl throws the cucumber and the cat's like,
Yeah, but that's not as fun. That cat.
Look, my mom knows. Look. She knows.
I'm sure he would. I mean, what really do you think about what sane person would enjoy?
That.
I'm earmuffs. I'm about to say it.
Go ahead.
Cottage cheese.
I hate cotton candy.
Really?
But see, that's trauma though, because I ate it when I was a little kid at the fair, and I ate so much of it,
Yeah.
I threw up,
Yeah.
and I have not had it in like 30 years. I will not eat it. I just remember that.
I ate so many pickles when I was a kid, it made me throw up, but I still love pickles.
I hate pickles.
Oh, I love
hate
pickles. I would just mob on
See,
those.
my palate, I ate pickles as like 4 or 5 year old. Mm-hmm. And the older I got, it just was like, oh. You know?
I've been off and on, but I love them now. I've been getting, I don't know if anybody's ever been to Famous Dave's barbecue place. I found it the first time in Fort Riley, Kansas. But their pickles, and they got the devil spit. Dude, they're so good. They're sweet and spicy. Anyway.
So there you go. There's my sweet announcement.
I like it.
And we went right into it. So
We got-
200, and I will try ranch. We will have to get Curtis to fix the chicken fingers. I've got to have something I can I will have the water.
No, if we gotta get, I want just a spoonful. Just
The misery.
I don't even do that with ketchup. No, I don't even do that. Look, you're getting what you're getting. Okay, be glad. Okay.
Sound like when I was married.
That's me.
Oh, that's the truth.
we'll edit that out.
Was me. Hey, the truth. Truth is the truth. You heard?
That was a good shot.
Hey, to who?
A gut.
To who?
No, I'm just saying in general.
Okay. Oh, you mean to the married? To the suckers that are still married? Anyway, moving on. I didn't know that about that stuff, and we talked about food stuff before, so maybe we'll add it. Send some more in, because we kind of do these types of things. We already got the hot sauce spare challenges going. We need to be wrapping up season 2 of that soon.
Yep.
And then I think we're going to get back to some more strike derbies. We're going to try to, and then
With rotten jelly beans.
Maybe.
I love those. They'd see what's that called? Bean Boozled.
Yeah, Bean Boozled.
Bean Boozled with that. That's a lot of fun.
Yep.
So send us some challenges. Let us know what you think of that ranch ramen. I'm intrigued. We talked about that next milestone. So now we'll, we're here. We're to here. Yeah. Go to the last thing that we mentioned, and then go ahead and get on out of here. So this is last call, if you would, for questions, comments, concerns. Did you miss something? You know, whatever. Damn Good has kind of turned into the franchise name now, right? Like the brand is Damn Good. It was at first Damn Good Average Bowler, DGAB, right? But a lot of things have already branched off of the DGAB, the Damn Good Average Reader. We've talked about some other things, and the latest thing that we've been talking about as a group was a separate podcast with 3 of us. We would not be co-located as we are now. It'd be kind of like we talked about in our StreamYard view. You're at home, I'm at home, you're at home, we're all joined. And we're looking at potentially calling this Damn Good After Dark. So it would be its own entity, right? But it's the 3 of us talking about, it's not to say that we can't talk about bowling, but one of our big foundations that the show revolves around will be men's mental health and mental health in general, because that's something that's very important to all 3 of us. And we talk about it a lot. You've talked about it so many times where I just happen to catch it. I'm like, what are you talking about now? And from the very beginning of our relationship, you were very adamant about that, which I was like, I love it, because I struggle every day terribly myself, you know? So having some other guys to be able to talk to about that sometimes is great. But those types of things, you know, I enjoyed sharing my military story. I appreciate you guys listening. I never talk about that stuff. I've got cool things like that. I've got funny stories about all around the world, you know what I mean? So just different things like that. Another segment I wrote years ago for a podcast that we didn't end up doing. I mentioned it to you guys at night. It's called Bringing to the Table, you know, and that gives us the leeway to whatever you want this week. What's Curtis bringing to the table to talk about? Maybe something he just wants to vent about, share about, something he's excited about, you know, and we each bring our own topic to the table of discussion. Of course, we take topics from you guys. We want you to chime in. And I think we're looking at doing it in a live venue too, so it can be interactive. I really like the lives because we can be real time instead of having to watch something that people are talking about past tense, you know?
Ultimately, I think it'll also just give you guys more insight into who we are.
Yes. I agree.
And I think that'd actually be really fun to do.
I do too. What do you guys think? We've actually talked about it quite a bit, seeing where and how. That's the try. It is still for the food, I'm guessing. But we're still getting it to fit, right? Because again, we don't do anything willy-nilly or half-assed. That's why I was so upset last week when it took a dive on us, because we want to be prepared and do the best for you guys. So, but that is something that it sounds like we want to try to make work. We're just figuring out how and when exactly. But I think that could be a lot of fun. So, be another branch of Damn Good. The GAB, I think, is obviously still, that's like the flagship. But that's through our agenda, and only an hour and 45 minutes. That was quick. Well, probably an hour 40. I think we started a few late.
Yeah.
But
So
we've wrapped on what, minus the one thing. We'll save that for another. That's going to be a good one. Maybe we can start the first episode.
Start episode 12 with that.
Or we could start episode 1 of Damn Good After Dark with that.
Could do that too.
What is it that we're talking about, you ask? That's a good question. You just have to
Juices are
tune
flowing.
in.
Juices
Yeah.
are flowing.
You would just have to tune in to Damn Good After Dark to find out.
Yeah, DGAB tournament would be awesome. I guess Wayne means that on kind of a regional or national level.
Yeah. Because
Might be something one day. You never know.
Are you,
I can tell you this right now, and I've told both of these guys before. I have WrestleMania-like ideas.
yes.
We have been throwing a couple of things. Again, we throw a lot of things against the wall, and that is going to be the ultimate Grand Slam.
Yes.
When we can put those, combine all those details and get that organized. So
When I think
stay tuned for that one.
on the way to that, yeah, exactly. I just want to reword it and say we are evolving to that. I think as we're doing these things, that is absolutely in the back of our mind, like a bigger your brainchild. But all of these things when they would come together for the culminating huge WrestleMania type event. So we're learning our way there, really.
Yes.
And you guys get to be along for the ride for that.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
We are so appreciative of that you
Bro.
guys decided to join us on that journey.
Yes. And to close out, then I'll just say on our talk the other night, we were discussing episode X1. How do we want to go out? What would be the final thing we said? I think you asked that question. And the immediate response, which I thought was perfect, was from our very own Mr. Curtis Rideout. And it was what?
Thank you. Thank you guys so much.
Yes. Thank you guys for everything. Or otherwise, we wouldn't be sitting here doing this. We don't sit here and do this for ourselves. We're not going to sit here and finger pop the thumbs. You know what I mean? It's for you guys. It's for us to get better. It's for us to get better, helping you get better. It's for you to make us better. It's about everybody getting better. Each individual, each group, each segment, each thing that we do. So
And
that's.
November 26th is just around the corner.
Remind us again what November 26th is, Coach.
That was the day we did our very first episode of the Damn Good Average Bowler podcast.
That's pretty awesome. I'm very proud to be a part of this. I'm thankful to be a part of this. I'm grateful.
I should go back and watch that, just see how weird it is from the first off to where we are now.
Well, because it was a two-parter because we
yeah.
lost our feed.
God.
Yes.
And then I had to get it back going. But we did. We did.
That was 3 hours total of streaming. And I was so nervous because I've done a lot of hosting stuff like this in my own shows and this and that. I was like, man, if everyone's going to be 3 hours, I'm going to be toast. But no, again, we've gotten to pretty much the right moment. And this one today was about the three of us. So, I mean, you see how long we ran, and we're having to wrap it up now before the 2 hour mark. So I think we got plenty of room for a great After Dark show.
I will tell you also, too, just so you guys and gals know, I'm looking at a February timetable of bringing back Calling All Bowlers. So if anybody out there that has not been a guest on that show, please send me a message and let me know of your potential interest. And I think we're going that again, depending on I think we hit a milestone too, being able to have a PWBA
Oh, for sure.
star on that. I call it like the secondary podcast because this is the main one. And so just y'all gotta stay tuned because we got a lot of ideas, and
Yeah.
it's just us being able to get them organized and put through to
And I have a couple.
Execute.
Yeah, I have a couple new ones that I haven't even been able to bring to you guys yet, which I think are fantastic ideas. But simply, it's a matter of time for us to do them. You know what I mean? So, I wanted to mention this because it's a very cool thing that we're doing with Calling All Bowlers. Is I'm actually trying to get a guest from every state.
yes.
So I'm wondering, again, we can talk about this, but I'm going to mention it because I'm thinking about it. But perhaps on the website, on DGAB website, we'll give that a shout out too before we tune out. But maybe a list of the states still needed on there.
Yeah, so that's another thing too, I wanted to let everybody know. The damngoodaveragebowler.net website, here probably within the month, I am going to be talking to Morgan and Devin, and we are going to be giving the website a facelift. I am taking the stronghold of that. We're going to meet. We're going to come up with different tabs. We're going to keep the podcast tabs, of course, for the archives for anybody to go back and reference.
Yes, I like that.
Josh, send me a message. Let me know you're interested. And then when February comes around, it's toward the end of the football season. That's why I'm not doing those.
Yeah.
And not to mention another reason too is we're starting to get back into the fall time here, and things are going to start getting really busy. We're going to start hitting our stride in the bowling season. So send me a message and let me know of your interest, and I will keep you in tune for that. But we do have, that's the thing I came up with, was the 50 state goal. And out of the 13 episodes we've done for Calling All Bowlers, I have covered 11 states. So
I
we
like
had a
that.
couple of multiple states. Another thing too is, a collective show for Calling All Bowlers when we do hit that goal.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Stay tuned for that.
That'd be crazy.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, little collective show. Jen and Stephanie, who respectively episode 2 and episode 8 for Calling All Bowlers, I'm going to bring them on. They are the Tennessee Twins, and I think that's just fantastic.
I like it.
So, and another thing too, for our next upcoming episode, we're probably going to do a little bit of a rewind through time from previous DGAB podcast shows.
For the anniversary show.
I mean, like a little teaser leading up.
Oh,
to
okay, yeah. Because we are going to put one. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt,
Yeah,
but
no,
I
you-
think he had stepped away or fell off or something on the call. We're going to do episode
Hey, Brett.
12. Well, 13 will probably be. Lucky 13 is going to be the anniversary.
All
one. So we'll
right.
do one more
1 year.
in October.
And then
of
November will
these.
be-
Yes. So yep.
Hey, you know what? Before we get out of here, Big Brian, we can cover this now because he's here.
I wish I had it to see.
Yeah, I wish. Brian, please leave another comment. Let me know you can hear us okay. So, because before we get out of here, because we're hitting almost hour 2,
Yep.
or the 2 hour mark, I should say. And thanks for liking the live, Brian. Let me know you're here, buddy. I know you said hi, everyone, but send me another comment again. Make me feel better.
Because we're
Yeah.
staying on specifically to tell you something.
Yes, so we came up with this as far as again, we have a lot of support, and it was really difficult for me to pick just one. But Dustin here, in his eclectic creativity, as I like to call,
I'll take it.
paintings. What are they specifically?
Abstract.
Abstract paintings. So unfortunately, Brian, Dustin didn't bring it tonight, but I want to say, for your support, for you posting, and again, everybody else has done it, but Brian has reached out to me on some of my bad mental health days, and it's little things like that just stand out. Again, I mean, it was tough picking one, but reaching out to me when he knew I was having a bad day, seen it in my face in the lives, messaged me and said, hey, checking on you. So we are going to send you this abstract painting.
You want to explain the painting real quick?
Yes. So thank you, Brian. Appreciate you. And Dustin's going to tell you what it's about.
Didn't mean to interrupt you. Apologize for that. The painting, it's an abstract style. And I attempted to do, this is my first attempt with a DGAB themed painting. Have you seen it? You've seen it,
Yeah,
right?
I've seen it.
So it's pretty big. I think it's a 16 by 20 or something. But I used Harry for the inspiration. I did. I legit had a graphic of him pulled up. And so an abstract, I tried to mold it almost as if Harry were the abstract. So there's not a lot of color from in there, but I like it. I don't like what I did with the ears. Basically what I'm saying is, if you don't like it, I will gladly paint you something better. But it is DGAB. It's one of however many there will be of DGAB paintings. That I'm not any good, but I do enjoy doing them, and abstracts are a good way to start. So Mike wanted to gift that to you because we all greatly appreciate it, and I appreciate you looking out for my friend. You know what I mean? So I know Curtis does too. So we want to gift that to you, my friend.
Yeah.
We're about to lose about 10%.
Okay. Yeah, we're about done. So absolutely.
If you don't like it, send it to Brett. Yeah. If you don't like it, send it to Brett.
I've got a couple more ready. I'm going to try some that are more diversified in the DGAB colors and things like that. So awesome, perfect. Just don't critique me too bad. But any pointers, I'll certainly take it because I'd love to get better.
But we will have him do the autograph for you.
I
We
think
will
I already
autograph.
did on the back.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Okay. Maybe each of us will.
It's a 1 of 1.
Oh, yeah. They all are because they're all works of art.
Yes.
All right.
All right. So I'm glad you got in here, Brian. Like I said,
Me too.
dude, thank you so much. Everybody else out there too. Like I said, I've done a lot of hat giveaways. We've done giveaways
Lots.
a lot. And like I said, the what'd you call it earlier? The
Big ballin'.
The big ballin' mystery. Mm-hmm. You want to know whether we're going to do a ball giveaway or not? It's a mystery.
Not anymore.
No. No. The